And then my last question is, the bollards for Larchmont Park,
Yes.
how many were replaced?
10.
10, okay.
We buy them in lengths. I think we bought 10, cut them in half, and that gives us 20. So we've got 10 to replace the ones at Larchmont, and there were some other ones damaged at Ridge Point, and I can't remember where the other part was.
Thank you.
All right. Mark, do you want to add anything to Scott's report?
Sure. So from a programmer's perspective, March is actually sort of getting ready for summer. This is the first month we start prepping for everything. This is my first time prepping for aquatics, so we're now going through the hiring process of finding good lifeguards. In early April, we have our lifeguard training, April 5th, April 12th at our pool. The heater's back up and working, so that's a good thing. So we need to go to Highlands this year for lifeguard training. We can do it here. We have somebody on staff that's actually going to be able to train everybody. Clifford's coming back, and he's certified to train all the lifeguards, so that's good. We save him a lot of money.
What's Clifford's last name?
State.
Yeah.
So he'll be back. He'll be training them up. We just started the Twin Rivers Junior High Basketball League. It's been going great. We're almost halfway through now, and then we're in talks that every year it seems like they want us to add on. And next year they're looking at adult volleyball, or not adult volleyball league, but a volleyball league and have us run it for them. So we're sort of early on in negotiations with that, but I think it's going to happen. They want it to happen, so we can make it work for them. And then obviously the new rec guide just came out. I don't know if you guys got your copy yet. Check it out. On here we're trying to push the Dolphin swim team. Hopefully we can get over 100 people this year. And then also we have coming up on the 19th. Hopefully I'll see you guys all there. We have our egg hunt. The Easter Bunny will be there, Diane. We also have balloon twisters. We'll have a petting zoo. We'll have a DJ out there. It's going to be a lot of fun. So hope to see you guys there.
Questions?
I did have actually a question for Scott, but I'm not sure if you'll be able to answer this or not. In Scott's report, in the after-school child care section, he mentions a week-long training that happened with some of the staff regarding the after-school program. Are you aware of any of that?
Actually, Mark led the...
Oh!
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that?
So it wasn't a week-long, but it was we did it for about 2 or 3 days, brought the staff in. We also partnered up with ACES. All Twin Rivers, so we had a lot of their people come in and do a lot of guest speaking. So maybe our staff could hear from a different voice, more new ideas. I'm sure they're getting tired of listening to my ideas all the time. So having them come in, I think, was a fresh voice.
And some enrichment activities. And
a lot of enrichment activities.
Self-esteem building activities, it says.
Our staff is really young, and what they lack in experience, they make up in creativity. So get your brains moving and so forth, I think helped out a lot, and it shows in the program.
Great.
Now, I'd like to add that Mark has done a lot of team building with his staff. They're really cohesive. They work well together. Mark has taken them out of the environment to, I don't know, you call it bowling or some things like that.
We call it like mandatory staff bonding.
Yeah. So it's worked really well. He's kept the staff, and they've been very good this last year.
Any other questions?
I've just got one. So how's it going to be looking getting lifeguards this year?
We've actually taken in a lot of applications.
Good.
Right now I feel we have probably 16 quality applications.
Oh, great. Okay. So I know that can always be a problem.
So I know last year it was a big issue with Christy. Finding lifeguards at the time, but this year we made sure we were proactive about it.
Right.
And we've got 16 quality applications, and we could probably get more coming up here soon.
Perfect. All right. Any other questions for staff? Terry?
Okay.
You're good? Okay. I wish Jeff just to make sure.
I know you're good.
Okay. Next item is item 7, correspondence. I don't believe we had anything. Next item is item 8, comments and reports from citizens and organizations. Is there anyone that wants to speak on anything that's not on the posted agenda? All right. We'll go ahead and move on to item 9, unfinished business. Item A, EF softball contract renewal. Come on up, Dennis.
Okay. Actually, Greg was out for a few minutes visiting with me before the meeting.
Just so you know, we all have a copy of
Okay.
this.
Okay. Good things to report. The 3 items that I brought up last month are all resolved. We had the different county people out there, fire marshal, everything, and we were able to go between us, figure out what needed to be done with the signage. We got the special inspection completed on the anchor bolts, and also the item with the ADA compliance. I had to basically go through some paperwork and some cost analysis to get that to where we were able to apply to 20% rather than full compliance. And so that took a little work in doing that, but fortunately a fair amount of the work involved was the ADA in the restrooms anyway, so that's what applied towards that direction. So basically we're done with the work. We're done with the work, and we're waiting for the actual certificate of occupancy to receive that. So that's the last step right now. We're done with the work.
You got any comments on it?
Well, in terms of proceeding with the contract, when do you expect the certificate?
They said they mail it out after all the paperwork is filed by the county, so I'm waiting on them. Whenever it hits my mail, I will have it. They didn't give me a time frame of actually having the certificate. So it's a
But
card.
you have the the sign-offs from the
Yeah.
fire department and everything else?
Yeah.
So I think if the board wanted to approve the new contract, if you could provide copies of that.
Okay.
I'm not sure how the board feels about.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I would want that. And then, did E&D give you, the food placard for the snack bar?
They have another person coming out to do that. They did the
Okay.
inspection,
Right.
and then they have another person coming out to do that part, and it's supposed to be done this week.
Okay.
But they've been through the actual building part of it. It was a 2-step process.
Right.
It was a 2-step process.
Okay, thank you.
I think once we have that offer for that, then
Certificate of occupancy.
And see, then I would feel comfortable at that
Okay.
point in time approving the contract. So
Okay.
I would like to go ahead and, motion to approve supplemental agreement number 11, which we didn't do last month and probably should have, and then also supplemental agreement number 12.
And I'll put together all of the forms to submit to Chuck, and then we'll be able to finish that out. But all the work's done.
Yeah, hopefully we could agree on that, signing a contract in April.
Since we did motion second and approve supplemental 11 last month's minutes.
Did
I
we do
signed
something?
something before I left.
Oh, did we get a motion
No,
done?
on page
No, that
3
was
of
the
the minutes.
motion to approve the staff to go and get it done.
Requesting the
Oh, so
staff
this is
to.
Direct staff to draw that. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Because, yeah, so we need
So
to
this
do.
should-
Yeah, sure, that's what
I
I-
make motion to approve both
The
11 and
ballot
12.
I guess we gotta start coming to these tomorrow.
I know, you should.
All right, so I have a motion, a second for 11 and, no, excuse me, I don't have a second, I don't believe, 11 and 12.
Second. I don't think it's second, I'll second that.
Technically, do we even need 11?
It's for the end of March.
I understand that, but 12 saying through the end of April.
Well, true.
But wouldn't it look weird if we skipped 1 month?
I'm going to draw it up by sign vote.
That's fine, just clarifying something.
Just want to make sure.
So, we got a second?
Yes.
Okay. So I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? All right. Any other questions for Dennis?
I'll put that all together and submit it to Chuck.
All right. Thanks, Dennis.
Appreciate it.
Anything else we need to chat about this before we move on? I know Sarah wants to, I can tell. Okay. So we'll go ahead and move on to item 10, new business. First item is item A, the 12-13 fiscal year audit. Board discussion, action to consider approval of it And the Chair of Budget and Finance, you're on.
A couple months ago, I met with this CPA firm, went over what is in your packet tonight, and then we also got the bound copy last month. No surprises. The only concern I had with this particular firm, and maybe we may want to consider going out with a new CPA firm, is they did no detailed substantive testing, so they didn't test any of the detailed records of our program registrations that are taken over at the front desk. The auditor in charge said that based on going over the statements that she receives from, or that she reviewed of the credit card machine transactions, nothing glared, plus the experience factor that they had last year, she didn't feel there was any need to go down to the document level and do any type of testing. And since we've had an incident in that area before, I felt that they probably should have looked at, did some testing in that area, even if they only tested 1 month's worth of transactions. But
Well, I actually have a question. Sorry, Terry, I'm putting you on the spot. So, in reading the recommendations, so what do they actually come in and test? Are they testing your Quicken reports, or are they testing the county Compass reports?
She asked for my Quicken reports. She
Okay.
asked for all my reports that I created to
Right.
balance from the county.
Okay,
So she gets all that, plus they look at the county reports.
okay.
And I'm just like, why are you taking my reports? You're supposed to go by the
You
county.
split that, well, that was kind of where I was going with this.
And then they
because-
do they'll look on the county report, and they'll do a payroll. They do all the contracts, I've seen Dennis Fong, I've seen Seta, I've seen Jamie's. They don't do, how much the other auditor did on the registration. They never look at the ledger, ever.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I mean, I when I read that, it's like, well, that's kind of more of an in-house thing for you to balance and
that's how
reconcile.
and she wanted me to go do QuickBooks, because she said I'm doing too much work. I said, this work is for me to double check myself.
Right.
Just putting in QuickBooks, I'm going to still put it in all three, because that's where I find my errors, if I have them.
Right.
And I had a couple times I'm like, oh, where is it? So she takes all my that I do
Right.
and goes and says, well, why do you have, this? I don't understand.
Yeah, it seems, after Larry, we spent almost 4 days in our office going through piles of registration and things. And
Right.
these people come in for a half a day
Right.
and take care of everything from their office or email.
Well, they don't take care of it. I give it to them.
it seemed, this year it seemed more of a drive-by, if you ask me. For her to really drill in on an internal process, yes, maybe there are probably faster ways of doing it. But
Well-
where's our, where's the material risk? I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, you did this more than I do, but
Right.
but to not do any testing at probably where our most vulnerable area is,
Yeah,
that
it's a
I'm
little
not
concerning.
comfortable with that. That I just did.
What I would